Hi everybody, it's me, Vikki, by myself. I know, weird, right? But I'm here to do a short haul for you, and I purchased a lot of items from a YouTube follower. I believe she's in our Boss Facebook group too. Her name is Katy, and she reached out to me and said she doesn't really feel like selling the vintage stuff, so asked if I wanted to purchase a bulk lot from her, and I did. She sent me some great pictures, so I can't say it's like a sight unseen unboxing, but I haven't seen all of the items, and she did throw some extra things in there. So I figured I'd go over a few things with you guys. I know that I talk about vintage clothing a lot. This is all women's vintage clothing, and it will all be going for sale in my eBay store and in my Etsy store. I'll be cross-posting. So let's see what we got.
I feel betrayed. I've been betrayed.
Just ignore her. I do. You kind of have to. Okay, so let's get started. So the first thing I'm pulling out is this women's halter dress. It looks like it's homemade, but it's really nicely done. It's tiny. It's just got a little straight cocktail, like a little cocktail dress, fitted wiggle dress. It feels like a silk, and it's kind of in a blue and purple watercolor print. It is fully lined. No tags. So I'm gonna say it's probably homemade, but it does have a nice metal zipper. This might even be as late as 80s. It's not super old vintage, but really cute. I'd probably sell it for like 30 or 40 bucks. Well, this one is so 80s, right? Look at this. So this is definitely an 80s, size 10. Scott McClintock, so it's like a line of the Jessica McClintock dresses. This was all the rage in the late 80s, maybe as early as like 90, 91, 92. Velvet prom dress with this little lace trim. This is new old stock, so I'll probably sell this one for about $75 or so. Let's see, what else do we have in here? Oh, this one's pretty. So this is a fitted wiggle dress of sorts. So if you can see, I'm going to try to hold this back a little bit. It's just a fitted dress with really pretty, intricate beading on the front. Kind of has a little bit of an Asian motif with a metal zipper in the back. So I'm going to say this one is definitely vintage. I would call this one, this might even be 50s. I'll do a little bit more research on this, but might even be a true vintage 50s. It's in really nice shape. It's in this real pretty red. This one I'd probably put about 50, 60 bucks as well. Okay, so I had to zoom out a little bit further because some of these things are kind of long, so I want you to be able to see the actual item. This is definitely some late 70s. This is a purple, kind of a real pretty banded dress. It's a long hostess type style dress is what they call the long dresses. And it has these, you know, poofy sheer sleeves with this kind of open back with the little keyhole tie at the neck. This one's really pretty. It's this very pretty lilac color. I think I'll probably list this one for about $75 to $100. Let's see, this right here is just a, ooh, it's very sassy, little sexy short nightie. It's kind of like an open front nightie. This would have been worn over probably some tap pants, kind of like those really short shorty shorts. This is definitely 60s to 70s, probably $30, $40 for that. It's real cute. Super tiny. Oh my goodness, I think this would fit about a 5-year-old. I kid, but a real skinny person. Very teeny tiny waist, definitely extra small. Just a polyester 70s brown polyester skirt. This one actually is not handmade. It's made by, it says small, but this is definitely extra small. Jana's King Fashions, not necessarily a brand anyone would recognize, but cute little skirt. Another cute skirt that I think these are ones that were just thrown in. This is just a vintage black velvet, skinny, kind of like a pencil skirt. let's see, maybe around $30 or so. This is a size, oh, it's vintage Fredericks of Hollywood. Didn't even know they actually made clothing. I didn't know that line was that old. But I would say this is probably 70s, maybe early 80s. Very pretty little sexy negligee. This is kind of a very, very sheer aqua, silk and aqua, in an aqua color, lace. This is a good brand. This is actually Gliddens, which is a good vintage brand for peignoir sets and vintage nighties. So I'll probably list this one at about $75. Real cute. Let's see. Ooh, this is shiny. So this is very 70s. So see this dress. This is a very long belted dress, belted maxi dress, and it's got a self fabric belt. And if you can see, it's got this real metallic sheen to it. Very 70s. They've got these mock turtleneck, and it's fully lined with a zipper up the back. This is definitely what we would call a hostess dress. We'll probably sell this for about $60 to $70. It's pretty teal and brown. Nice color scheme. This one is nice. I like this. This is very happy print. Look at that. So it's yellow and green and orange. This is very 60s, maybe early 70s. Very mod in color, but the sleeves, these little poofy sleeves, lend it more of a 70s boho feel, so to speak. So it has this tacked on ribbon around the waist, an empire waist. Very pretty. Metal zipper, which you can see here. And this looks homemade. So this is kind of like a party dress, maybe a prom dress. Could have been a bridesmaid dress. Can you imagine bridesmaids wearing this? Ugh. Let's see. This is 80s all the way. So this is an 80s kind of a nautical theme across the shoulders, padded shoulders. We've got some gold. It's kind of like a bomber jacket style. So this one's probably going to sell for about $50 or so. Don't mind the light coming in. Sorry, the sun is starting to set. And then this is a real simple, very cute elastic strapless sundress. It's very cotton. It's a cotton. It's probably early 80s. It's just got this little bunched cotton top here with a little bow at the chest. Elastic at the waist. And again, this is probably early 80s. I'll probably sell this for about $50 or so. Lots more guys. This is awesome. Okay, so this is a really long, it's kind of a flame stitch to it. It's like a chevron flame stitch pattern. This is in a wool. It's an overcoat of sorts. Noah's Flood is the brand on that. I'm gonna say this is 80s as well. It might be as late as, maybe as early as the 70s, I should say, not as late as the 70s, but I'm gonna say this is 80s as well, early 80s. It's a full length coat. Not sure where I'll put that price-wise, but probably around $75. Let's see. This is a fun 80s jumpsuit. These are very fashionable right now. They're really very back in style. It's kind of a, I wouldn't say a pinstripe, but it's definitely striped. So this is mid 80s or so, early to mid 80s. They call this a size 8. Again, if you're selling vintage clothing, make sure that you put the current measurements and if you can, an equivalent to today's sizing, because this is a size 8 from the early 80s. It's probably closer to a size 4 now. Sizing has become what we call vanity sizing these days, so it has been a bit more forgiving, I guess you could say, with the numbers. So if someone is a size 12 now, it was probably a size 16 or an 18 in the early 80s or the 70s. So it's a cute little jumpsuit, little pantsuit. This will probably sell for about $60. These are cute little pair of vintage pumps. You can see some sizing here. Really cute strappy sandals. I'd say these are probably 70s. They're a size 9. I wear a size 9. They look real small. I'll have to double check, but that might be a 6. Not sure. But they're tiny. So these, I'll probably sell these for about $35 or $40. They look like the 70s style for sure. Headed into the second box here. In case anybody is interested, this was in the size in the box here. So this is who I purchased it from, Kania from Lola Vintage. There's a whole other box here. A lot of stuff. This is adorable. So, okay, so this one's probably one of the oldest pieces. This is a silk, it's got a little bow on one shoulder, silk fit and flare dress. I'm gonna say this is from the 50s. It's got a nice silk overlay, and then underneath it has this kind of chenille in a purple. More, actually not a chenille, more of a, like an organza. And this actually looks like it's discolored a little bit from age, but it just adds to the color as far as I'm concerned. It's like this purpley pink color. And that tends to happen with the linings of older dresses. This is in real nice shape. It's got a little bit of fading under the arms, but I don't think this detracts from the dress at all, actually. This is really pretty. And it has the belt that goes with it that has some bling on it. Gotta like a blingy belt. I think I'll list this one for about $100. This is real pretty as well. This is this looks like it may be new old stock. They're calling this a size 11. This looks to me about 70s, maybe early 80s, maybe what we call a cusper. Empire waist, because the waist comes up real high. It's this nice long, it's like a taffeta skirt with a velvet bodice. Very pretty, very perfect for the Christmas season right now, coming up. I'll probably list that one for about $100 too. Not a dud in the bunch, by the way, guys. She picked really well. These are really pretty items, and they're in fantastic condition. So this right here, this is very 80s. This has got this double-breasted front here. This is a silk, or at least a rayon. It feels like silk. It's double-breasted across the front. If you can see like that crossover with the buttons. Kind of a blue floral watercolor print. It's fully lined. And it's like a knee-length skirt. So this will probably be one of the least or lesser expensive ones. It's okay. It's an okay 80s piece. It's just nothing spectacular. It's very dynasty. If it had like those big shoulder pads, it would be really dynasty style. Don't use that as a keyword. That's keyword spamming. You can't do that. But probably about 40, 50 bucks on that one. Just a few more. Now this pink one is very similar to the big long one that I showed earlier. Look at this kimono waist is what it looks like. It's got this empire waist with these flutter sleeves and kind of a kimono style banding at the waist. It's attached, it's not a belt, but it looks like a belt. It's got this nice deep V neck and the buttons at the waist. And it's this really long, flowing, double-layered skirt, a maxi skirt on this. This is beautiful. This is 70s all the way. I really love this one. That will probably be at least a $100 dress. And just a few more. This is a really nice vintage, I think probably 50s dress. This is very brocade here. You can see it's like a satin with a raised print. It's like a jacquard, but thinner. Metal zipper in the back. Metal zippers are always a dead giveaway for it being a vintage item. And it's just, this is actually a larger size. This is probably a good current size 10 or 12, which is hard to find in these vintage clothes. It's probably homemade, it looks homemade. That's not a deterrent when you're talking about vintage clothing. A lot of people made their own clothes, and they did it well. You know, it wasn't like now, nobody knows how to sew clothing anymore for the most part. That dress will probably sell for about $75. This is another 1950s. Just a basic day dress is what they would call this, with the pleated waist. It's real pretty with black, gray, and red. I would probably sell this one for about $75 as well. Another metal zipper heading up the back. And you can feel the polyester, you know it's 70s, right? So this one is a polyester. Look at those look at that collar, big wide collar. That's a sure giveaway that it's the 70s. It's a sleeveless little tennis dress, it looks like. Self-belted, white polyester, really cute. I'll probably put that at about $50. More polyester. This is 70s. This one is not homemade. It does have a tag on it, but it's not a brand that is of any importance. So this is kind of odd. It has these little, you know, we've got that cold shoulder thing going on right now with styles, or maybe we did about a year or so ago. This is like a 70s cold shoulder on both of these, but it's very squared off. It's kind of odd. So very 70s mod print. It's a wrap dress. It has pockets. It's pretty cool. I'll probably put this one about $75. It's about just below the knee. Hope you're not bored. Just a few more left. Now this reminds me of the type of dress that my mom would wear when I was younger. So this is definitely late 70s, maybe even early 80s. Polyester. It's got these cute little bows on the sleeves. Little split sleeve, short sleeve, split sleeve. And this does not appear to be homemade. It probably isn't. And it's kind of almost a semi-sheer floral skirt, very pretty. Probably put this one at about $50 or so. More velvet. This is a basic 80s velvet prom dress with the poofy sleeves here and long sleeves with, I didn't look for a tag on it yet, but nothing spectacular except this deep plunging back with the big bow on the butt. I think we all remember that style from the 80s. Probably sell that one for about $50 as well. Oh goodness, this is bright. This is kind of fantastic. Okay. This is gonna be 80s as well. It's got this sheer top with the sweetheart neckline, and it's this real fitted dress with these sheer sleeves that kind of have this tuxedo looking French cuff at the end with these big gold buttons. Oh yeah, this is very 80s. And it's in this bright, bright hot pink. It's actually brighter pink than my hair. That's saying something. So it's a big long skirt, but it has a huge slit up the back. So that slit looks like it would have gone like right up under the butt. She packed a lot of stuff into this box, I'll tell you. Okay, this looks like a new old stock as well. They're calling this a size 14. This is also from the 70s, another hostess dress. By hostess dress, it's usually those long, long dresses, and that's what this is. It's a very long dress. This might even be early 80s with this crazy asymmetrical ruffle down the front. Oh yeah, this is new, has the tags still. Long sleeve with a ruffle at the sleeve. And then the belt that comes with it. Zipper up the back. It's got like a chiffon skirt, big long straight chiffon skirt with a polyester top. It's pretty fantastic actually. I'll probably list that one at about $50 or $60 as well. And two more. So we're doing the last two right now. This is another polyester, new old stock. This is more of a 60s dress, kind of maybe what we call a cusper. 60s into the 70s. It's got more of a 60s style to it. It's got a little keyhole, pop out, little cleavage peek hole, cleavage keyhole window, so to speak. And a long straight skirt. It's not super long. It's going to go right below the knee, which gives it more of that mod feel, but it has a drop waist. So 60s to 70s for this one. And it's got the tag on it. Long sleeve polyester. These are all in fantastic condition. That one I'll probably put at about 75, maybe even go as high as 100. I have a feeling it's going to look really cute on the mannequin. And here's the last one. Last but not least, this is another new old stock. The tags are still on it. This is a Kelly green suit. It's just a straight green pencil skirt with a metal side zipper. Very polyester. I would call this 60s. You've got your little crop top with the zipper up the back. Short sleeves. This is very Jackie O, this type of style. Again, not something you can use in the title, but not too far off in description. Depending on where you list this, you can definitely use it as like a keyword, or especially on Etsy, you can use hashtags and keywords, and that would be what I would do for that one. So that's it. Quite a lot of stuff. I actually paid about $100 for this whole box of things. So she gave me a fantastic deal. Kenia, I really appreciate that. Kenia, I hope I'm saying your name right. I apologize if I'm not. I'm super excited to get this stuff listed. Look for it in my Etsy store and my eBay store. If you have any questions, feel free to leave questions below. If there's anything you'd like to purchase, feel free to contact me before I get it listed, and we can have a stranger friend sale. Hope you enjoyed this little haul video, and maybe I'll do more in the future. Thanks guys, bye.